Thanks, Mike, and you are correct. The Autel engineering team knocked it out of the park when it comes to the hardware of the MaxiSys Ultra. We're going to break this down into 3 separate sections. We're going to talk about the docking station, the tablet, and the VCMI. To start with, the docking station. This is going to be your storage location for your MaxiSys Ultra when you have it on a toolbox or on a tabletop. This is going to optimize the charge for that 18,000 milliamp hour battery. You heard that right, 18,000 milliamp hour battery. That's going to give us a runtime of consistent use of over 8 hours. I've actually been testing this tool for a while, and I've been able to go a week without recharging this tool. The battery lasts that long. This is really going to help us in the shop to be able to optimize our uptime and not have to worry about putting it on the charger all the time. The tablet has a 13-inch screen, which is the largest in the industry, to optimize that viewing area. And there's some software secrets that come along with that extra large screen that we're also going to talk about. The tablet itself does have 3 USB ports on the top, 2 USB ports that are full-size 2.0s, and that gives us the ability to add accessories like the digital inspection camera or to plug in our J2534 device whenever we're doing programming directly from the tablet. We also have our micro SD card to expand the memory. But you heard that right. Mike said 256 gigs of memory already in the tool. So we can use that micro SD card for expanded memory if we want to, or to be able to transfer files off of the tool whenever you desire. Up on top, we also have our HDMI, which I'll be showing you here in a little bit, to be able to plug that into a TV to see it on a larger screen if you want to. Also, I have our charging port up here on the top and our power to be able to turn it on and off. Now, I'm going to bring you in a little bit closer to talk about the VCMI, because this is a powerful little device. The VCMI stands for Vehicle Communication and Measurements Interface. This box has a lot of the protocols for the brand new vehicles, including MegaCAN, including J2534, DOIP, CAN-FD, and much, much more built into this device. So this is going to be our wireless communication between the tablet via Bluetooth or via Wi-Fi. Adding Wi-Fi to the VCMI gives us the ability to provide a fast, strong, and stable connection between the VCMI and the tablet. We also have a 4-channel lab scope built in to the device. So if we flip over here to the end, you'll see that we have 4 BNC connections. This is where we can connect our 4-channel lab scope to the VCMI to communicate with the tool. That communication can be done via the USB or via the wireless Wi-Fi connection directly to the tablet, and that is a huge, huge benefit that you are going to love. Here's our connection for our OBD2 connection. This cable is a special cable that we're going to plug into the car. It is our version 2.0. This gives us the high speed to be able to connect to the car and do all of our topology, which I will touch here in a little bit. We're also going to be able to do our scope directly from the OBD2 port. Oh, I probably wasn't supposed to mention that yet either, but some cool stuff with that. We do have our network connection to be able to connect directly to a vehicle or to our internet connection. And then if we flip over to the top side of the VCMI, we have our power port to be able to charge the VCMI. We have our hook station to be able to hang this directly from the hood of the vehicle if we want to. And then we have our connections for our DVOM. You heard me correct, a digital volt ohm meter built into the VCMI. This gives us the ability to not only measure voltage, but also measure resistance. Now, these ports, these are twofold because we can also export voltage directly from those ports. We can export a voltage, let's say a 5-volt reference. We can push that voltage through a circuit and test it on the other end to make sure that that is a good circuit. We can also use this as a waveform generator. We can generate waveforms to give a known good signal to a sensor to see if the PCM can process that information correctly. A lot of stuff is built into this box. But let's go back to this one. Let's talk about the power port for a second. Why would we need a power port built in to our VCMI? That just doesn't make any sense. Well, it absolutely does, because whenever we power on this box, it can be used independently without an extra power supply. The battery in this maintains the voltage to be able to use your scope wirelessly to the tablet. Think about the wires and cables and everything that go along with a scope. No longer do we have to worry about having a power supply to that box as well. It can actually power itself off of the internal battery. Now, the other big thing to that internal battery is having the ability to maintain voltage. Let's give you an example. Let's say that you are starting a car with a not so good battery. And whenever you start that car with a not so good battery, that voltage is going to drop. And on some tools, you can actually lose communication between the diagnostic tool and the VCI because that voltage drops too low. This gives us the ability to have like an internal capacitor. It will maintain that voltage so we don't lose that signal going to the scan tool. It gives us the ability to see those glitches or issues or crank signal problems when it comes to starting a vehicle at startup and at low battery voltage. Also on the top here, we'll spin back around, you will notice that there is a USB port here. So this USB port is specific to Autel. You have to use the Autel cables for that because we want to make sure that the speed and the stability of that USB cable is strong enough to do the J2534 programming, and we can also use that for connecting directly to the tool and to do updates to the VCMI. So this box is very powerful and it has a lot of functions and features built into it. There's a lot of power packed into this little box, and I can't wait to show you more about what this thing can do. Think about what the engineers of Autel have done. We've really tried to work with the field to put this tool in your hands, to make sure that it fits what you need in your shop and has the capabilities to do what you need to do, especially when it comes to the hardware and the battery life. This is really built around the bigger, stronger, faster mentality to make your job as a technician that much more easy.